have been so helpful to help him manage those emotions. So I hope you know every week during this abundance challenge, we're doing a weekly 101 for 30 minutes. And that is your opportunity, right? So of course, yes, be teaching, be sharing your oils, right? And reaching out to people. But this is like the easy button. We teach it for you. All you do is invite and you do the follow-up. So we did something really different this week and we got overwhelming feedback. And this was Stacy's idea. So I'm giving her all the credit. But who here, tell me in the comment box, who here created a MyYL bundle for the class tonight? Wasn't that amazing? I created my bundle. So it was so nice to be able to invite people to the class. I'm going to even send them the replay of the recording and go, here is the bundle that you can go shop at. Wasn't that fantastic? So that was Stacy's idea, and we're going to be doing that for future classes as well, to the best of our ability. Sometimes we roll at the last minute, so just saying, be patient with us. But how amazing was it to have the products beforehand so that now you're prepared? Like seriously, in 1 hour, you're going to be able to reach out to those people and go, hey, how was the class? Hope you enjoyed it. Here's my link. You can start shopping. Fantastic, right? You could be doing this all the time. Okay, so I just really want to encourage you. We've had leaders who will create bundles with mywyl.com for specific people. Like for instance, I had coffee with Stacy. She's telling me her son George is struggling with, emotions, and I make this bundle for her and I can send it, right? So it's great for sending to individuals, but it's also great when you're dealing with seasons or you're prepping for a class. So for instance, for the holiday catalog, I put all those babies in a MyWhale bundle, right? And as I was on social media, I was posting about them and going, shop them here. So make sure you're doing that. I have one for immune supporting supplements and oils. I have one for like the face, right? The CBD beauty boost and all my favorite facial products. You can do them for so many things. So use them. It's like unlimited bundles that you can be creating, and you can create content on social media, right? Or as you're talking to people based on all of that. So make sure you're really utilizing MyYL, but that was something special that we did this week. So I was curious how many of you did it. Love it. Okay. So here's something else that I wanted to check in with you to see how everybody's doing. We had a lot of wins this week. I want to do a special shout out to Amanda Johnson because she hit executive and I'm super happy for you. That's fantastic. I think she's really close to the Silverbound bonus too. But I want to hear from you guys. This is the time to turn it over to you. Who had a win? Was it a sign up? You reached out to someone put in a holiday order. I would love to hear from you guys. Can someone please unmute and tell us what wins you had this week? Don't be shy. We love hearing from you. By the way, we also do giveaways based on people who actually comment on the Zoom call. So just saying, just to give you a nudge.
I'll go, Tracy. I'll go.
Yay, Kathy. Yes, we'd love to hear from you, girl.
Okay, well, a lot of wins, actually. I had my party, my 101 class party get together on Saturday, and we had a really nice group, 10 to 12 people, and we had, like 4 people that are interested and putting in orders. And I'm having another get together November 7th. And well, we talked about the holiday launch too that day. And then you're coming up and we're going to do, I'm calling it the Holiday Catalog Expo. And so everybody that was there cannot wait to come back on the 7th. So it was very successful. And then today I went and got my hair done, and my hairdresser, who was a customer 2 years ago, she's putting in an order. I'm going to help her tomorrow. It's a lot. And she's like gung-ho. She saw my posts on Facebook. And to order vitamins and just tons of stuff. She's having a lot of trouble with her back. Being a hairdresser, it's just wearing her out. So anyway, that was great. And then Linda Tucker and I have been talking on Mondays when we most Mondays, that's our thing, even before the Abundance Challenge started, because we're running buddies. And so we talked this week, and the whole dynamics of our calls are so elevated. The energy, the content of what we're talking about. Yeah, right. So I was telling her about a gal that came on Saturday. Am I talking too long? No? Okay. So this woman came Saturday who has been to a couple of classes over the last couple of years. And she's kind of skeptical. And she said, I am so glad I came today. She says, I did not want to come. But Holly never gave up on me. When she just keeps inviting me, and she's been really consistent. And then I invited her over to my house, and she said, I learned so much. And she said, it's low key. You kept it simple. I'm so excited. She loved the citruses. So she's going to put in an order for citruses. And so she said, everybody's so friendly. And it was just, I feel so relaxed, because she was smelling every oil. I said, girl, you're in the oil den. You've been, oiling up, smelling all these things. And she loved Palo Santo. And so we did that. What is it? That the kinetic type thing where you smell it and then you put it here and go forward or back. And everybody was all over that. So when I was talking to my running buddy, Linda, telling her about this experience with Gloria and all the feedback she gave, Linda says, we need to have a really good way to invite where we're touching on these topics that Gloria was saying. So I wrote everything down as I was relaying it. So we turned it into, I said, you know what? We need to give people 5 reasons to say yes. When we are inviting, we've got to position that invitation and touch on all the things that Gloria said made her feel good about, and what you can expect. So we made this, invitation. I put all the notes, like, I'm inviting you to a special event where we learn and share about experiences with natural, healthy, low tox family lifestyle, featuring the Young Living brand. And it's a low key gathering. It's a lot of fun. It's a safe environment, and with great and friendly people. I know we're all busy, but Tracy, it would mean so much to me for you to be there and for you to give yourself a chance. And we were like, oh my God, we were so happy. And so that was the weekly wins. It's our elevator speech too. So I'm done. Thanks for letting me go on.
Kathy, oh my gosh. So I'm looking at the comments and people are saying, please put this in the abundance challenge. They want to hear your wording. They love it. But
Good.
This is absolutely amazing. I mean, so many things from you and your running buddy, Linda, who's amazing. You guys have always been buddies, but I know you've got other buddies too. So I just want to give you guys a lot of encouragement, right? To make sure you're with your running buddy. You check in, you create goals together, right? You could even teach classes together, even if they're cross-line to you, but just having that other person and you're checking in, the accountability for me personally, it's everything, because if I know that I'm not being held accountable for anything, it's easy to be like, peace out, I'm doing something else. So super proud of you, Kathy. That was fantastic. And what a huge epiphany, right? She was giving you all this information. It would have been easy to just been like, oh, great, we're so glad you're here. But you took that as a directive of these are the things we need to touch on to get more people here. So I think that was so smart.
Well, I told her, I'm glad that you're sharing how you really feel, that you didn't want to be here. I said, because you're in good company. A lot of I don't want to go. Am I? Um, and she felt that she felt safe enough to say, and then she was, and that's when I said, I'm so glad and grateful you gave yourself a chance.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is how it evolved. That was fun. It was really, how get-togethers sort of organically turn into something that maybe not necessarily it's not ever scripted, so to speak. You've got a few outline things, but then it goes with whatever group you have and what their needs are. So we had about half and half members and half that weren't. So it was really good.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Kathy. Please post that in the Abundance Challenge group. Everybody wants to see more details. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm going to do some special shout outs because I'm seeing this in the comments. Many of you were really diligent in posting about the holiday launch on social media. Like I'm looking here, Michelle Jernigan enrolled 4 new customers with the launch. Michelle, can you talk? I know we've got some people with kiddos going to sleep. So I don't know if you can unmute yourself now, but that's fantastic. There's a few of you who are sharing and sharing and sharing, and we're able to get people to get those holiday products.
So I had a lot of people who have been on the fence for a while. I've been chatting with them, sending them samples, but for the holiday launch, I decided to do a promo. My immediate upline was also doing a promo. The person above them was doing a promo, and the person above them was doing a promo. So like by ordering through me, they got stacked into all of these different promos and giveaways. If somebody ordered I had a friend who ordered 300 PV on the holiday launch, got my free oil promo, got a free diffuser, got a free oil rack, got a free, like all of these different things that it just made no sense for them not to order during the holiday launch. So I just took advantage of everything my upline was doing. I stacked on top of it. I talked about it a lot, and it just worked out.
That is amazing, girl. I love it. And I love the keywords that you're using. You are tapping into what your upline is already offering, but I also want to give you some encouragement in that maybe your upline isn't offering anything. So you know what I'll often do? Like, let's say I'll offer some kind of whatever it is, a book, a roller, a $10 product credit. I will stack with what Young Living is doing. Okay. So Young Living offers free shipping on 100 PV orders. They also, give out a bunch of freebies with the monthly promos. So this whole idea of like stacking all the goods, sometimes when you say it individually, people don't get it, but I will like literally spell out this, and this when you spend this. It makes no sense. You need to just buy it. So that's exactly what Michelle was telling people, right? And I think sometimes they don't know. So it's our job to like simplify and go here. It would be like the biggest shame in the world if you didn't get this stuff, because look at all these awesome deals. So love that. Thank you so much, Michelle. Alexandra has a baby. Oh, love it. I wish I could be snuggling a baby, but she's saying someone bought the mini Aria from her because she shared on the holiday products. Love it. Same with Robin Winchester. She's saying she also had people ordering holiday products. So lots of holiday excitement. So just giving you more encouragement, you guys, they still have stock of holiday products, but things are going to sell out because there's no limits. So if you haven't been promoting it, this is your time. Like get in there and keep doing it. And here's the thing, more encouragement. You think people see everything, they don't see everything, right? Maybe you post about it 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. It's not enough. Keep talking about it. By now, you may even have product in hands. Do a video, show how things work. I am a total, I want to see how it works and what it looks like. Show me all the inside stuff, right? Like a photo is great, but I want to see it right on a video. So just giving you some encouragement for that. Okay, who else has a win to share? We would love to hear from you.
Tracy, can I just shout Alexandra out really quick? So she mentioned Alexandra Hunter, who is up here. So Alexandra had a baby several days ago. The day after her due date, she showed up to the holiday launch, drove to our in-person gathering. And the whole time we're like, are you going to go in labor soon? And she's like, I don't care. I had to come. And so my upline, my amazing upline who's up here, Ashley Diet, had the products on hand. We were able to touch and smell, and Alexandra wanted to be a part of that. And so that night she went into labor, had the baby the next day. I kid you not, because I was like stalking her about this baby. She sure enough was showing, she was posting like about the Aria in her stories. I'm like, didn't you just push this baby out? But I bet that she sold that Aria while she was still in the hospital. So I have to shout her out because she knows how to rest. She's not, I mean, the girl doesn't hustle till she burns out. Like, you know, I know we're big on that too. But just her dedication and how much she believes in this product, and especially with these Arias. So I just love that she shared that as her win, because I wanted to give you guys context of actually what was going on in her life. And she was still sharing. Like, that's amazing. Yeah, oh, thank you. And I'll just share my win. Ashley set up an amazing workshop that I got to co-host with her, but she did most of the work. I have to give her a round of applause there. So we had a workshop in person at a venue. It's a wine room. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this is something we've had set up for like 3 years. If you can find a coffee shop, a winery, a brewery, or a restaurant, basically how we approached the owner of this restaurant was like, hey, what is your slowest night? If we can guarantee that we will pack your house out and bring you business, bring you new business, can we have your venue for this night, whatever night that may be? And so we've had this deal with her for several years, and we do 1 to 2 workshops a month. And so someone from my church came, and she had been watching, I had been sharing about the thieves cleaner, but she'd never bought it because she hates cloves. So anyways, we had a chat about that, and that turned into, it's crazy how actually talking to people, like words, whether it's on the phone or like in person, how thieves cleaner turned into legit like 7 other products. So I'm giving her samples on Sunday, but it just reminded me the power of in person and the power of physically like moving your mouth and talking to people. I know text is all the rage. People don't like to talk on the phone, but really, like, there's a lot to be said about a conversation with someone. It was a 2-minute conversation, and we went from 1 product to 7. And I was just like, man, that probably would have been a back and forth on DM like 7 days. I don't know, right? So that was just a good little reminder for me. But that was my little weekly win and my little shout out to my peeps.
That was so good, Rachel. So Alexandra, I feel like, yeah, all the nurses are probably like, why is this mama so relaxed? I mean, I feel like right there, easy sell, right? Talking to the nurses who are helping you. And also just wanted to piggyback on what Rachel said and finding a venue. So you know who's really great at this is Stacy Cook. I was just in Chicago with her doing some team events. She finds things all the time. And let me just tell you, a really great place to start is like, where are the places that you're already going, right? Like my husband goes to it's a kombucha place here in San Diego. And because he goes so much, he's like befriended, like the manager there. And they're like, sure, come on by. If you ever want to do an event, it's cool with us. So like the places that you're already patroning, not patronizing, would be the perfect place to start, right? Because you've already built relationships with those people. They know you. You're already like a great customer. But if you're starting from scratch, guess what? It's just like call, like what Rachel said. That's exactly what Stacy did. And she found all these really great places, right? All nearby where we needed to be to do those team events. So giving you lots of encouragement with that. Who else has a win to share? We would love to hear from you.
I can share one other thing.
Yes, please, Stacey.
So like Tracy mentioned earlier, I just moved. So I live in a new place where I know basically no one. But I am, like Rachel said, I love in-person events. It's how I grew my business to begin with. So I am committed to doing in-person events in a town where I know no one. So I scheduled it. So I just went and I scheduled it. I got an in-person event on my calendar. I'm inviting people to my home. I know a total of like 10 women in this town, and not really very well, but I'm comfortable inviting them. So I'm like, if I can get like 4 of these women to come make some rollers for Thanksgiving with me, we're going to make some stuffed rollers for digestion and some thankful rollers for all the emotional support. Super laid back. I told them I'm going to like cook up some elderberry syrup in the Instant Pot while they're here, and I can all go home with a jar of elderberry. So it's a way for me to, well, build these relationships, just, continue to like get to know these women and share oils with them. So I'm super excited. It was, I like people, but I am ultimately an introvert, but I was like, I got to do it, because that's how I grew, originally, was just really inviting people to my home, and then finding, like Tracy said, little places to do little events and bigger events. So I'm excited. It was a win for me. I have one person who said yes so far. I got to work on at least 3 more.
I love it. Okay, giving lots of encouragement to the introverts in particular, right? Who are like, I don't know, new people in general. Both Stacy and I are actually introverts. So just saying, okay, if introverts can do this, you can do it too. Who else has a win to share? We would love to hear from you.
If there's a gap in time, I will talk about the workshop a little bit more, because I want to give you guys some encouragement and ideas. We have done 5 different guest speakers where the workshop has been about the guest speaker and what they bring to the table way more than about us. And I will tell you, it feels so risky. I've talked about them on here before, but we've done a pelvic floor therapist, and that, like, honestly, she didn't really use the oil. Like, it was not super related to what we did because she didn't use the oils yet. We did a chiropractor that talked about hormones and hormone testing, and he and his wife didn't know a lot about the oil. Like, point of saying that is, if you believe in someone and you know they're going to draw a crowd that you couldn't draw on your own. And I want to be just very transparent in that I used to have events where we'd have 50 people all the time, right? Rachel and I would do events, we'd sell them out always. But right now, like, we had to cancel our holiday launch event at the same venue. We did an event on Tuesday, and we had it at my house, and it was phenomenal and so much fun. But we just aren't selling the tickets when it's just us right now since COVID. Like, it just is not. I don't want to go back, and I want to speak that very clearly to you. You don't want to long for things of the past, because you're not going to be focused on the things that are in front of you. But I will tell you, adapting to that change has been different. So let me speak it that way. So for me, it has felt very risky the past 3 months, doing something that, honestly, people come and they don't even know what we do. Okay. 2 of my friends from Orange Theory came, and they literally are like one of them today said to me, I don't understand how you make money from that roller thing that we made Tuesday. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have failed at my job. But like, at least she said it. Because here's the thing. She came, she saw this like really cool inspirational workshop. She bought a book. She took a picture with a man. She made a roller. Like, that's what happened. I'm just being real. She didn't. So it leaves the conversation open. And that's what I want to encourage you with, that being risky, and I don't mean financially risky, because Rachel and I did not we did not put up a bunch of our own money, not that at all. We sold tickets. We had people come. We worked at the venue. We had a guest speaker. And last month we had somebody medical, and she did not talk about oils. She talked about them for 1 second. Okay. 1 second, literally just about how the oils were phenomenal for support. But she talked about other supplements. She talked about other testing. And I mean, Eric did not talk about oils at all. I don't even remember him even like referring to what we do or oils or any of that. And it was just the value added of people getting to learn and grow, and knowing that you can be the guide, story brand framework, right? You can be the guide for someone, but not only do you not need to be the hero, but you actually don't have to be the expert in any way. Because I'm not a personal development expert. I'm actually not a best-selling author, but we had someone who is. And want to just encourage you to do things differently if it works for you, especially if you love in person, right? If you love in person and you're not sure how it's going to work for you right now, maybe you're like, I don't really want to do my kitchen table. I want to do a venue. How's that going to work? Well, guys, some places the make and take traditional, that might work. Some places that might not be awesome, because people might be like not touching stuff, not touching share thing. It's just different. You have to adapt to where you are. But I do want to encourage you to be a little risky and have some fun. Like, don't be afraid to be an event organizer and not just someone doing an oils workshop, right? Put that joker on Eventbrite, sponsor an ad on Facebook, like whatever you need to do, have fun. have freaking fun. And then you can follow up with the people that came. If they aren't already oily, you can invite them to an oil event, right? Maybe they come, maybe they don't, but here's the thing. They would have never come to this event before if it was what you've always exactly done, right? If we do the same things over and over and expect different results, I don't love saying that word, but it for sure is a definition of not super intelligent, right? It's not great for any of us. So it gave us a lot of refreshment. And I just want to encourage you with that as we go into November. You don't have to do 5 holiday make and takes. You could probably have a really cool speaker come in. We're going to do a healing oils of the Bible class, and that class for us sells out every year. And it definitely attracts people who don't use oils, but like community or want to learn more about the Bible. Like, it attracts different people. So just be different. And remember, you want to be more curious about other people's needs than being interesting, right? You want to be more interested in them than interesting in yourself. And so that's what I felt like it's given us the opportunity, because we're not teaching the whole thing. We're just focused on the people around us. Yeah, I'll stop talking, but it was really encouraging for me, for Rachel, and she already spoke. And I just want to tell you guys, we've done it now. It's been 5 times, and every single time it's blown our minds who's come and what they've left there with.
And I'll just piggyback 1 second, because I know there's other people that need to speak. My friend from church came to see the guest speaker, and sidelined, we had that conversation because she saw me. Sometimes these events for us have been just to make connections. I've had people come to these workshops with these speakers that would never come to anything oily, and I just loved on them. Now, every single time we have a guest speaker, they always get a roller. So they always get a roller, they get that experience that causes questions, but then we get to connect with them. So sometimes it's just about connecting, reconnecting. They start to follow you more on social media. That whole like, know, trust, them being around you and you being you, you become more trustworthy. And so that if that oils thing ever comes up again in their mind and they just saw you, it's more likely they're going to contact you. But that's not always why we do this. We generally see value in these speakers, and we just want to add value to people. And that's just a part of it.
My name is Holly, and I just wanted to chime in on what Ashley had said. I supported Kathy. We kind of teamed to do the 101 on Saturday, and a lot of the people who attended, one of the things I noticed was, because I've never done a show teamed other than with Kathy, and so it's like my members and my customers and whoever showed up to join in that, they trust us more. They've gotten to know us. They receive all of the happy mail and everything I send on texts and online. They receive all of that, but I don't always get the feedback. And so Kathy is more of a risk taker than I am. I don't hold a lot of events. I do one-on-ones and coffee meetups, and I do a lot of happy mail, and from my happy mail people respond and then they order. And so I really I'm kind of introverted in a way. I go back and forth. I can do both. I was a teacher for 30 years, and this is my new joy in life. And my mentor is definitely Tracy and Kathy and all the people who are offering the wonderful support on this program. I've missed it, I think 2 times already, but I have been able to catch it a few times. And I really appreciate everything that everybody's sharing, because sometimes I'm not real good at risk taking, but when I do, I dive right in. So thank you, everybody.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing, Holly. And it was great to hear from Ashley and Rachel too. And so I hope you're taking note with that. I think a really good example just to kind of share with you is my realtor, right? It's been, I don't know, close to 8 years since we bought this home. But let me just tell you, every single month, I get some happy mail from my realtor, right? And it's usually like a notepad. On my birthday, he sends me a $5 Starbucks gift card. He's also emailing me, right? Like events that are happening in San Diego. Oh, he's going to be at this pumpkin patch, or he's hosting this event, right? Where he's got a guest speaker, kind of like what Rachel and what Ashley are talking about. He usually reaches out to me at least once a quarter through text. So are you seeing this, right? Email, snail mail, text, and just a myriad of things, right? Not always like, are you ready to sell your house? But just kind of staying in front of me. Does that make sense? And so when you're hearing Rachel and Ashley talk about doing these events that maybe don't necessarily have anything to do with oils, this is kind of the same thing as like my realtor, right? Like you're staying in front of people all the time, but see, they add the roller, right? They put the roller in there. I'm sure they've got other things in the room that are kind of related, but the key note, right, is that featured speaker, but you're constantly staying in front of people. And so just be thinking like with your social media, in your interactions with people, right? So whether it's virtually or in person, how are you staying in front of people? And so I just love that example that you guys gave, Ashley and Rachel, fantastic. But kind of keep that in mind. Maybe you've got someone, does your realtor do the same thing? If not, I think maybe mine's like really on top of it, but I feel like this is kind of like how our realtors are, because guess what? They work on commissions just like we do, right? So how are you staying in front of people with a multitude of communication channels, with a multitude of different topics, right? So just be thinking about that.
Tracy,
Okay.
I have to tell you this because you just said this. My realtor friend, literally it's been years and years and years. She just dropped this on my porch. She lives 45 minutes away, a hand-blown glass pumpkin with a note. So very thankful for you. Y'all better believe she is my person. Like this was today or yesterday. So it's so funny that you said that. I was like, my realtor does that too. But yeah, she's always in the front of my mind when people ask for a referral for a realtor.
100%. It's smart business, right? It's this.
And the mail. She sends the mail and tells
Yes.
me all the things going on in my city. It's adding value.
Yep, I'm telling you. So we're seeing this, like my realtor does this. So are you the oily person that everybody thinks about? How are you staying in front of people? Because maybe they're not buying a house, but just like Rachel said, she refers everybody to her realtor. I do the same with my realtor because I think he's awesome, but also because he stays in front of me. What if he stopped sending me messages? What if he didn't reach out to me anymore, right? I'm like, oh, all right, well, I don't have a realtor to recommend. So whether I'm buying a house or not, doesn't matter. I'm sending referrals. Are you hearing this? Stay in front of people. Treat your business like your realtor friend treats their business. They work on commissions just like us. So think about how you can do that for your friends and family, your community. Maybe you can send events. Oh my gosh, I'm like blowing my mind right now. I'm blowing my own mind. You could be like the realtor friend, but like, why can't you put together a list of events that are happening in your area, right? And then just like tuck in a couple of yours in there too. Why not? I'm blowing my own mind. Seriously, I'm going to do it. Okay, we've got just about 20 minutes. And there was something that I wanted to touch on. And of course, if you've got a win to share, please, I want to invite you to unmute in just a minute. But we shared a podcast today. If you didn't listen to it yet, I really want you to listen. It is fantastic. It's from your virtual upline, and it's all about cost and value. Because I think sometimes we even ourselves have an issue with the cost and the value. And that sometimes comes through when we're talking to other people too. Because how many times, tell me in the comments, you guys, how many times have we heard from people, it's too expensive, I don't have the money, right? There's this perception that the products are expensive. And let me just tell you, if people will pay $100 for freaking yoga pants, sorry, that's me. I totally do. They are really good yoga pants, right? Or, right, a pair of shoes, a handbag. You guys, come on now. My husband just told me, do you know how much the new iPhone is? I think it's like $1,800 or $1,600. I was like, are you kidding me? It's a freaking phone. People willingly spend that money. It has nothing to do with cost. It's the perceived value. So if you didn't listen to that podcast, I would highly encourage you to do it, because I think some of us have work to do with this, right? We have our own, right, preconceived notions about the cost of things, or we prejudge people and we go, yeah, I know that they can't afford it. But let me just tell you, if they've got an iPhone, anybody who's got an iPhone can definitely afford it. Just saying, okay? I see all kinds of people. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute, they totally have an iPhone. There's an iPad too. Oh yes, they can afford it. So just telling you, right? Again, work that we need to do, but also in how we explain things to other people. It's not even a question of cost. You have a life-changing story. Tell me, what's your life-changing story? Just tell me real quick, like what is like the topic? Our life-changing story, okay, is autoimmune, because it's cleaning, autoimmune, like that was huge. Digestion for me, huge, okay? So you have a life-changing story, and let me just tell you, right, there was probably no amount of, right, you've been like, I'm throwing money at this, whatever I can do to solve this problem. My son, my oldest, when he was a baby, was colicky. I'll just tell you, I would have been like, where do I make the check? Where do I make the check? I'll make it out to anything, because his baby isn't sleeping. I was a zombie. I would have done anything to get sleep and to have my baby go to sleep. So it's not a cost issue, right? It's value. Do you value the products, right? And then when you're explaining the products and sharing about them, are you talking about the value, right? Do you know how to talk to people when they have the objection about the cost? Right? And then what are you talking about with the value? So I feel like this is really something to work on. So if you again, haven't listened to that podcast, go listen to it. And if you need to do some extra work on that, do it. But I will tell you, in the beginning, I'd be like, yeah, it is kind of expensive, isn't it? Right? And then over time, I was like, no, this thing is like such an amazing deal, right? Before it was just the kit. Oh my gosh, the kit is an amazing deal. 60% off, you get all these goodies. More than that, you're getting like lifelong changes into your family. Think about that, right? Think about how you can do that and work on the prejudging of other people and like how to handle those objections. So definitely want to put that out to you guys if you haven't done it. Did anybody have like an aha moment listening to the podcast? Tell me, tell me. So good. Yeah, Anushka saying everybody's perception of value is different, right? Sometimes they'll say expensive. I actually had a girlfriend who would always say, I can't afford it. Like every single thing she would say, I can't afford it. I was like, oh man, there's some money issues going on in here, right? When you say I can't afford it. Yeah. Working through people who say afford, I can't afford it. It's like, but you've got an iPhone. I know you can. So yeah, keep working on it. They don't see the value. Absolutely. Luann, the podcast was in the IPA for today. So you'll see October 28th in the Abundance Challenge group, and we've got a link to a podcast. So good. Yeah, Michelle, I love it. You can afford it. You're just not making it a priority. There's something else on your list, right, that you are prioritizing more. But what about your health? What about your family's health, right? All of those things. So good. Anybody have questions, comments, feedback? Let's hear from you. Your spending reflects your priorities. Yes, so good. Michelle's killing it. She's on fire tonight. Michelle Jernigan.
Can I just say, I have friends who are like, organic food's way too expensive. Organic food's so expensive. Oils are expensive. But like, if you truly want to be healthy, you don't get that by buying the cheapest food. Just like I went live the other day because I was like feeling real feisty about this topic. If you work from home, or you're like a gamer, or you stream a lot of movies or whatever, and you're shopping around for Wi-Fi, you're not going to sign up for the cheapest, slowest Wi-Fi that you can find, because it's not going to get you where you need to go, right? It's not going to meet your needs. So if you want to feel better, why are you going to put junk into your body? Like that's not going to get you where you want to go. So same thing, like what you spend your money on is what you truly prioritize. So if you say that you're prioritizing your health, but you're not willing to spend on it, then something's out of balance.
And I will say this. I bought my kit my husband and I were living with my parents, and I had to wait. I'm pretty sure I had to wait like a month, and Ashley just kept following up with me, and I had to save I took from our grocery budget 2 weeks in a row. And at that time I did eat organic, even though we didn't have a lot of money, but guess what? I was not going to Target. So like, it's hard people do have to make that decision for themselves. And I've found the easiest way to help people make that decision is attraction marketing. So showing them why they need the lavender, like why they need, my kids, not coughing the croupy cough anymore because of frankincense and lemon. So that attraction marketing of it's their decision, the frank and lemon or the cardigan sweater at Target. And so I'm like, if I can inspire them by pulling them instead of like pushing them, I would much rather do that. Ashley inspired me. She didn't press me or push me. Like she was so good at explaining her testimonials that I was like, okay, we're not going to get organic eggs this week because I'm going to save up. But it's so funny, guys. If you were to look at my closet, like I don't have half the amount of clothes that my friends do. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But then holy cow, go look at my supplements closet. And I'm like, okay. So it is so true. And that is because I've learned from Tracy, I've learned from these calls, I've learned from Ashley, like the value of health. Health is freaking wealth. If you are on the toilet 24/7, you're not wearing that cardigan anyway. So, okay. Girl, I'm hot too, Michelle. I get you.
I love it. Queen. That's what they're all saying about Michelle. And you too, Rachel. I love it. And you know what? I'm telling you, there is nothing wrong with not having a lot of clothes in the closet. I don't have a lot of clothes in the closet because I am a minimalist, except when it comes to my oils. Then I want it all. But this is so good. I hope this is like light bulb moments kind of going off, right, for you. That it's really just that constant conversation of the cost versus value. And did you hear this again from Rachel? She said that Ashley was always in front of her, not in front of her face, meaning like, hey, bye, but she was like the realtor, right? Always there. Hey, I'm thinking about you. Hey, I think I've got a great solution for you, right? So I love how this is all kind of coming together tonight.
Can I add something?
Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so going back to like budgeting and like money stuff. So Michelle knows this, but I'm actually a teacher, and teachers in North Carolina don't make a whole lot of money. But this is something that I make sure that I prioritize in my monthly budget because it's important to me. And that's what I always tell people that like tell me it's too expensive. I'm like, well, I'm a teacher. I probably make less money than you do, and it's still something that I prioritize every month anyway.
That is so good. Like mic drop right there. So can I challenge you guys to do something, right? For those of you who've had similar stories as this, right? How like Rachel or Ashley just shared right now, go share that on social media about why you decided to prioritize your health. Luann's queen, right? She was like, I spend my money on my wellness, not my sickness. That was like amazing. Go share that on social media because you know what? You've got a friend out there who is not feeling great and they don't know that they need to prioritize this. Let me just tell you, I meet people all the time that are like, wait, what? Food can change like sickness? I was like, oh my gosh, let's start. Let's back up. Let's talk. We have so much to share with you. You meet people all the time who don't know because guess what? People don't know what they don't know. Okay. 10, 12 years ago, when my husband first got autoimmune issues, I had no idea because we were just starting out. You've got friends and family who are just starting out. They don't know. You are so many steps ahead of them, right? So you're thinking, of course they know this stuff, but they don't, right? So please make sure you're sharing that. And I think that is so profound to talk about how you prioritize your health and how you choose, right, to save and spend money on your health. Yeah, Rachel, I'm with you. Can someone make a meme on this? I think we could have like a meme war all over social media on this. I love this. So good. Okay, we've got about 10 minutes left. I can give you the gift of time. Does anyone else have questions, a win to share, a comment? This is your time. This is your weekly check-in. Christine, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear Christine, or is it just me? Say something, Christine. I can see your lips moving. No, Hannah said she can't hear you either. I'm sorry. I would love to hear from you, but I can't hear you. Yeah, we have a few people saying they can't hear you either. Maybe check your settings and check it, like try in a couple of minutes. Oh, I would love to hear from Christine. Anyone else have something to share? Comment, question, an aha moment, an epiphany. We want to hear from you. Christine.
Hey.
Yes, Allison. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So great to have you on.
I don't have like a huge win, as in I just enrolled 4 members or whatever, but just a win in that I started the first beginning of the month. I found a buddy and we chatted, but then we were kind of radio silent for a while. And then I don't know if it was after last week's call or last Friday, something you had posted or said something you said, and I'm just connecting with your buddy. And so we connected and I was like, we just need to do the simple things because we both feel like we're busy, but everybody's busy. And to just start doing the things that you suggest, because they don't take forever. The IPAs that you put up there, they're simple, easy things to do. And to just start doing it. And it wasn't anything like earth-shattering that we shared with each other than the fact that we just need to do it. And so we kind of spurred each other on to kind of do some work this week. So I just wanted to thank you for all that you're doing here.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome, Allison. I'm so happy to hear that because I get it. Kids and just stuff going on at home and managing everything. Sometimes it gets lost in the mix, and that is a huge win that you checked in with your buddy and that you're both holding each other accountable. Huge win, girl. So excited for you. And this is why I love having accountability buddies. So, this is a good time. If you haven't checked in yet, make sure you do that and see how they're doing, make goals together. Guess what? November is going to be coming up right around the corner. This is going to be a good time to be planning out your November goals and helping each other to wrap up, right, on what you need to do for the end of the month. Love it. So good. Anyone else have something to share before we go tonight? This has been an amazing call. Oh, this is so good. So Christine, who wasn't able to talk, this is what she says. Oh my gosh, I feel like this could be a meme right here. Illness is not just expensive for the person or the immediate family. You're also caring for the extended family members who have those lifelong illnesses. It's expensive in money, time, and heartache. They are worth it, but it is tough. Oh, that is so good. You never know, right? The decisions that you're making, you think, well, it's just me. But then what about the people who are taking care of you, right? Or the people that you need to take care of because they rely on you. That's so good. Love it.
That is such a good perspective. I don't think people think about. They put themselves last, and it's like, well, who's counting on you? Like, who is counting on you? It's crazy. That's a great perspective. That needs to be a meme too. Can someone make a bunch of memes and just throw them in the challenge? We can share them all over the place.
I love it. That is so good. And again, just really good perspective. I mean, what if you just shared your heart on that, Christine, right? Whether it was on social media, right? Or like when you're with your friends. I mean, what a great perspective to be sharing because somebody else is thinking, yeah, that's true. I should start taking better care of my health, or I should help my parents take better care of themselves, right? Because, we're going to be taking care of each other. So that's so good. I love it. Okay, you guys, I think we're wrapping up, giving you guys 5 minutes. Here's what I challenge you to do, right? I know it's late, especially for our East Coast folks. You've got 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Go ahead and like wrap up. Is there anything else that you need to do? Write it down. Did you have an aha from this call? Is there something that you want to do first thing tomorrow, right? Or maybe you have a message to send out. Spend the next couple of minutes doing it. I will tell you, okay, we've done like power hours before where we're actually doing tasks together. I've been able to send like hundreds of messages, not through mass texting or mass messaging. Like literally, I'm like emailing or messaging people on Facebook. I've been able to do like 130 minutes. So just saying, you can do a lot in 5 minutes. Okay. So we'll have the recording up for you shortly. We'll have the 101 recording as well. So you can work on sharing that along with your MyYL bundle link. Just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who was here tonight. So appreciate hearing your voices and loved everybody who spoke tonight. Thank you so much. Stay tuned next week, right? We're going to have another check-in call, another 101. We're working on the schedule for November, so stay tuned. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good one. Take care.